Welcome to the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show, Sunday, July 11th, the day before the All-Star break. It is here, and we have one day of baseball, one more card left to analyze and break down right here on the Closing Time Show before the break. Conor Mack with me, as always. I'm Ian Cameron. This is one day of all days. You want to really, really keep an eye on starting lineups for all of these teams, because if there's one day you're going to see, I find year after year, the day before the All-Star break, teams that have, quite a few of their players participating in All-Star week festivities, All-Star break festivities in Denver, of course, where the All-Star game and the home run, all of it's going to be taking place. Then Sunday is often that day where you'll see them out of the lineup, maybe rested a little bit. So it's definitely a good idea to keep an eye. And certainly I'll be looking at all the confirmed lineups that we have as of this time for the early games today, so we can at least give you an idea of if there's any kind of key players, key bats that are out of these lineups today, the day before the All-Star break. Definitely something worth keeping an eye on. So without further ado, we'll get into the card. White Sox and Orioles to get things going. Dylan Cease and Spencer Watkins, the pitching matchup here in this one. We've got the White Sox about minus 180, road favorites here, 10.5 the total. In this game, it's certainly been a good series for overbettors, no question about that, mostly thanks to the White Sox bats who have just done a number on Orioles pitching here so far in this series. We'll see if that can carry over to today. I mean, we've just talked about this, repeatedly ad nauseum, and we're going to repeat some things when we're talking baseball every single day like we do. But Baltimore's pitching and their bullpen especially just not very good, and we've seen that the last 3 games. They've given up 30 runs. How about that? They've given up an average of 10 runs per game in their last 3 games, this Baltimore team. So it's been rough for their pitching staff. I don't know if that pitching staff's going to get a break today from Spencer Watkins, although I will say, Spencer Watkins made one of his first start of the season, spot start against the Blue Jays. Actually pitched pretty decently. 1 run, 3 hits, 5 innings, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts against the Blue Jays. Yet that game still went over the total because Baltimore scored a bunch, and the Baltimore bullpen also gave up some runs later in that game. Dylan Cease on the mound for the White Sox. He's a guy that's had a pretty decent season overall, but not a good start last time against the Twins. 6 runs, 5.1 innings, 6.59 ERA on the road as well for Dylan Cease. However, he did pitch against the Baltimore Orioles back in May and shut him down, 1 run in 6 innings. I would lean over again, but I don't like it as much today. Dylan Cease did shut down the Orioles before. Watkins has actually been pretty good. 2 real high scoring games. Keep an eye on who's in the lineup here for the White Sox. White Sox actually look like they're going with most of their key bats in there today. Anderson's in the lineup, batting leadoff. Moncada, Abreu, Brian Goodwin, Adam Engel, Lurie Garcia. So that their lineup looks pretty full in terms of all hands on deck. We don't have a lineup yet for the Orioles. But we do have the White Sox lineup. Looks like they're going pretty much full bore. A lot of their key bats in there. So a small lean to the over, but I'll be honest, there's as much as the White Sox are trending over right now, I don't like this one quite as much as the overs that I've cashed with the last 2 games in this series. Conor, what do you think here? White Sox, Orioles.
Yeah, can the Orioles do anything, and get going? They've just gotten, their ass kicked in all these games. I just have to lean White Sox maybe again. I don't love it though. The last few days or on the over, I was on the run line. I think you had team total right, Ian, with the White Sox. I think those are all looks, but you're Sunday. The lineup's the same, but this still isn't their full lineup. They got Anderson, Moncada, and Abreu are in. Some of these other guys have hit though in this series. We'll see with Spencer Watkins. He pitched well in that first start against Toronto. Can he do that again here? I don't trust it. I lean over again with you. And White Sox, Cease has been solid on that. Not as good on the road, though. So, but the Orioles need to get one. I just don't know if it's today. And you talked about it. This is the last day. Everyone wants to get home for this long break because all the regular players, they want these 4 days off for vacation. So it's a game I lean over, and White Sox again and go run line. But I'm probably going to pass here today early.
All right, next game on the slate here is the Philadelphia Phillies and the Boston Red Sox. We've got starter unconfirmed for the Philadelphia Phillies, but Nick Pivetta will be on the mound for the Red Sox. Right now, it's looking like minus 120, the current price for the Red Sox. Home favorites. The total open 10.5. It's down to 9.5 now across the board in this one. The wind is blowing out to left field. Which is the monster seats, at Fenway Park, that portion of the stadium. So potentially a boost for hitting today with the wind conditions being what they are. We have Nick Pivetta, my countryman, on the mound for the Red Sox, a guy that's got a decent overall season, 4.09 ERA. Last start out for him, though, was excellent. 2 hits, shutout baseball, and 7 strong innings against the Oakland Athletics. So a huge bounce back after he got roughed up by the Royals in the start before that. So it's kind of funny because he's had 2 shutout performances, and then he had that ugly start against the Royals sandwiched in between. He has a 5.32 ERA at home this season. We'll see how he's able to do here in this game against the Phillies. 11-2 loss yesterday for the Boston Red Sox. Again, we don't have a starter as of right now. It was going to be Nola, but he was scratched, and now we're left waiting to see who's going to be on the mound here for the Phillies. Probably Boston has an edge. I actually would lean to Boston here a little bit, minus 120. Let's see who's on the mound for the Phillies, but right now I lean in that direction here with the Red Sox. Off a bad loss. Red Sox definitely haven't lost 2-3 games in a row very often, so anytime we see a situation where we've got the Red Sox coming off a loss, I'm interested. So we'll see who's on the mound for the Phillies. It's probably not going to be a premium arm regardless. So this could be a Boston spot to bounce back. So I lean Red Sox here, first 5 full game. But again, I'm going to wait to pull the trigger till we see who's on the mound for the Phillies. Connor, what do you think here? Philly-Boston.
Yeah, I'll wait to see who's on the mound. I guess I'd lean over, especially with these 2 teams. I mean, it was 3-2 early in the third. I got no runs, and I didn't play the over. I thought, wow, I'm going to get there, and boom, 8 runs. And the Red Sox could have scored plenty there. They had the bases loaded. I think they had no outs, too, didn't score. Yeah, I'd lean Red Sox. I don't know, lose 2 in a row. You don't want to do that going for the break. They're at home. Pavetta's pitched well at home. As long as he's not giving up the long ball. I wanted to give Bryce Harper a few at-bats. Pivetta, he's 3 for 9 with a double and 2 homers. And JT Realmuto, 4 for 11 with 3 doubles. A couple of guys you might want to look at for the Phillies off Pivetta today.
Yeah, I like Boston. I might add the over as well, but especially with it 9.5 now. You're looking at these, the 5 ERA for Pivetta at home is not great. And the Phillies are hitting right now. We talked about this yesterday. The Phillies have finally really started to get this lineup grooving here. 13, 15, 3, 8, 5, 11. That's been the run totals for the Phillies lineup in their last 6 games. Collectively, they're, by the way, throughout that stretch, 7 straight overs entering today as well for the Phillies. So I'm definitely interested with the over as well. Now, especially now that it's 9.5. You give me 9, like we've been talking about 10.5, 11. Actually, spot on 11 with the first 2 games in this series. Now we're talking 9.5. Very, very doable, in my opinion, regardless of who's on the mound for the Phillies. And keep in mind, the bullpens for both of these teams have really been worked hard in this series. Tons of bullpen innings. These are spent, worn down, exhausted bullpens. So not exactly fresh bullpens means not exactly bullpens we trust to get zeros and shut down opposing lineups later in the game. So you could get the runs late if you don't get them early as well. The bullpens have been used extensively here so far in this series on both sides. Kansas City, Cleveland, not going to really spend a lot of time because we may not get baseball here today. Good chance of rain in Cleveland. We're looking at rain all afternoon. I don't think we're going to see baseball, honestly, with these 2 teams. If we do see a game, it would be Carlos Hernandez and Eli Morgan on the mound. Cleveland minus 150, minus 140, I should say, home favorites, 9 the total. In this game. I'm not a big fan of Eli Morgan, 8.44 ERA. He's been awful. My leans would be over here and Kansas City first 5 for sure. I don't even care about Hernandez and the fact that the Royals haven't been very good. And look, I was on Cleveland yesterday, and Kansas City's in a bad way right now. They're not playing good baseball, but Eli Morgan's terrible. So just right away, a priori, It would be Royals first 5 or nothing for me. But again, doesn't look like we're going to see baseball here. Connor, what's your thoughts? Kansas City, Cleveland.
Yeah, I think it's going to rain out. Yeah, we talked about it. Just kind of take the Indians. And they scored a bunch of runs yesterday.
Yep.
I can't take Morgan either, I don't think here. I don't think this gets played, but look at his starts. He can't go maybe 5 innings is his top. It's 4-4, 4-3, 6. He gave up 3 last time to Houston. I don't like the guy much at all. It's just a game I want nothing to do with. I like the Indians. We liked it the last few days, but now minus 140 with Morgan and with rain and everything that's going on, it's a pass.
All right. Yep. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. All right. We move on to the Pittsburgh Pirates, New York Mets. Again, here we go again. This is the theme with a couple of these games early. We have no starting pitcher for the Mets yet. We have Chase DeYoung confirmed for the Pirates. So we'll have to see where this goes. Not really much to say because there is no line. You know what? We'll skip this one because I'm not even seeing a betting line, at most spots right now with this Pirates and Mets game. So we'll move on to Atlanta Braves, Miami Marlins. Ian Anderson, Pablo Lopez pitching matchup here. Miami minus 120 home favorites, total 7 shaded to the under in this one. Devastating injury, obviously, yesterday to Ronald Acuna, torn ACL, out for the season. Brutal stuff right there. And that's basically a microcosm of the season that has been for the Atlanta Braves. It's been a rough, disappointing season. I know they've clawed their way back to 500, but disappointing season overall that they're just a 500 baseball team. So that definitely concerns you going into this game. The after effects, the hangover, if you will, that their star, Ronald Acuna, out for the season now. So how do they pick up the pieces, Atlanta? It's a huge hole to fill moving forward. We've got Ian Anderson on the mound for the Braves, who's been pretty rock steady, rock solid all season, 3.27 ERA for him. 3-6 on the road, which is kind of weird because he's pitched well on the road. 2.57 ERA. Braves, though, just 3-6 in Ian Anderson's 9 road starts. On the flip side, Pablo Lopez, 2.03 home ERA, 2.94 ERA overall. 5-5 though at home, because again, we've talked about this with Pablo. He can pitch well, and he's pitched extremely well. You look at his last 8 starts, he's given up 2 runs or fewer in 7 of those 8 starts. So he's consistently been, excellent. He's been consistently giving the team a chance to win. The Braves, though, playing some good ball, and Miami is in one of those spots again where they're just not hitting again. The first 3 games of this, last 3 games overall, they've scored 5 runs in the last 3 games combined. So it's a real tricky one. Maybe a first 5 under. That does make some sense to me. Maybe you could look a little bit to the first 5 under in this game. I could only look toward, even though they've lost the first 2 games in this series, I could only look to Miami here. I like Lopez. I don't love the way they're not hitting right now, but I worry about this Atlanta spot today. I mean, you look at it, when you lose a guy like that to injury, that is just a downer for the entire clubhouse. And I worry about the response from the Braves here a little bit today, following the devastation of seeing the injury to their superstar, if you will, Ronald Acuna yesterday. So I lean Miami. It's probably not a game I'm going to touch either way. Connor, Mac, what do you think here, Atlanta, Miami?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to touch this game either. We'll see. We got a low total again. We got over it yesterday. And at 7, it's super low. Will these pitchers pitch well? I like Marlins and Lopez at home. Now I'm at minus 115 here. I don't love it that much. They're not, they were hitting a few days ago. Haven't much at all here. Both pitchers have been done well. Lopez obviously got that start. Washington, he had a few great starts in a row. Then the 1 pitch with Atlanta. Then he threw 4 innings with the Dodgers, 4 hits, 1 earned. I like him at home as well. Anderson's been all right on the road, but Acuna, you got to know that injury. And check the lineups today with teams like this. Make sure that everyone might be in with the Braves. It's a game I'm going to pass. I lean Marlins at home here. I just wish it was more maybe even money or maybe like plus 110 Marlins. So I'm going to pass.
Yeah, you look at all of a sudden this lineup without Acuna Jr., and you're looking at Adrianza leading off, Freeman. This is the confirmed lineup, by the way. Albies, Riley, Arcia, Swanson, Guillermo Heredia, Kevin Smith. Like that all of a sudden is just not their best lineup today. It looks like this Braves team. So be careful with them today in this one. Toronto and Tampa Bay. We've got battle of lefties here. Robbie Ray and Rich Hill, Dick Mountain on the mound for the Rays. Toronto minus 120 to minus 125. Road favorites here at the Trop, 8.5 the total. I do like the Blue Jays here today to avoid the sweep. Robbie Ray has been a pitcher that I've backed a lot. I think each of his last, I can't even remember. I think pretty much each of his last 6 or 7 starts, I've either been on the Blue Jays or a first 5 under or something in support of Robbie Ray, who is really, to be honest with you, right now he's the best pitcher for the Blue Jays. He's out pitching Ryu. He is pitching. He's pitching better than anyone on this starting rotation right now for the Blue Jays. 3.36 ERA, 2.84 ERA his last 3 starts. Look at the last 7 outings for Ray. 1-1-3-2, 1-3-2. The runs allowed. Just been terrific for this team. He's faced the Rays a lot this year. 3 starts already against them, and he's held them to just 6 runs over 20 innings. Pretty impressive stuff. You know what's funny, though, is the Jays are 0-3 in those games, yet he's pitched well against the Rays. So for some reason, those games, they just didn't give him a lot of run support. But I think they can bounce back and do a better job against him here. Give him some run support, the Blue Jays, here in this game, because Rich Hill's been trending in a little bit downward for the better part of the last month. I think it coincides a little bit with the crackdown. I think he's been affected just a little bit by it, because since that started, June 12th, 4 runs, June 17th, 4 runs allowed. Pitched a little bit better against Boston, but he still labored. He had 5 walks in that game. Next time out against Washington, 4 runs, 8 hits, 6 innings. He struggled in that game. Last time out against Cleveland, struggled as well. 1 run, 3 hits, a walk, 3.2 innings. Was constantly pitching his way out of trouble. 16 pitches per inning, labored in that game. So it's been a bit of a downward trajectory for Rich Hill the last month or so, facing the Blue Jays, looking to avoid the sweep. And the Blue Jays, when I look at their lineups that they're putting out there today, it tells me this is a team that wants to go into the break with a win. Does not want to go into the All-Star break getting swept in a divisional series, because they've got Simeon, Bichette, Vlad Guerrero, George Springer, Teoscar Hernandez, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Espinal, Biggio, and Jansen. There's only one regular bat out of their lineup today, and that's Grichuk. And Grichuk's actually kind of been struggling lately. So the Blue Jays definitely look like they're putting a lineup out there where they want to avoid the sweep here. And I definitely favor Ray over Hill, so I'll go Blue Jays first 5 full game split in this one. Connor, what do you think?
Yeah, this one's interesting here. Ray's pitched really well lately, like you talked about. And Rich Hill's kind of been, the last few he's pitched well, or either he seems like he's given up 4 runs or he's given up 1. He's kind of been on that the last 3 or 4 starts. The only problem is I don't love the Jays now, at minus 120 here. I know they avoid the sweep, that whole talk. I don't like the price. I also was looking the first 5 under 4.5, but I got to think, man, like you talked about, they got this A lineup. They haven't been hitting. Can they break out? They're supposed to be hit lefties. This right-handed dominant lineup of the Blue Jays. So it's a tough game. Initially, I lean the first 5 under 4.5 with these pitchers, but full game, I could see it get over. It's just a game I'm going to pass. I'm just going to wait, especially on the Blue Jays. I'm going to wait to bet them after the All-Star break.
There you go. Yeah, see after the All-Star break. Yeah, which is what I'll be saying to this here today. See after the All-Star break. Yeah, no doubt about that. Yeah, definitely. Makes sense. Jay's team total over. Yeah, definitely. You could go with that if you think they're going to hit Rich Hill a little bit in this game. Robbie Ray again, just an incredible turnaround in terms of his control and his command. Like, to see this guy now going 9 of his last 10 starts with 2 walks or less. Are you kidding me? This guy used to have 4, 5, 6 walks guaranteed every single start. And now all of a sudden he's get 2. Like, they've just done a terrific job, the Blue Jays, working with this guy, eliminating the walks from his arsenal. And he's just done a lot better with the control and the command of his pitches. All right, we've got Cincinnati and Milwaukee. We've got a pretty good pitching matchup here. Luis Castillo, who has turned things around. Brandon Woodruff, who's been terrific pretty much all season for the Milwaukee Brewers. Got Milwaukee in that minus 150 range here in this game. total sitting at around 7.5, down to 7 though in some spots. Looks like we've got lineups for both of these teams. We have India, Winker, Castellanos, Votto, Stevenson. That guy can hit, by the way, that rookie catcher, Stevenson. Very, very impressive. Tyler Naquin, Suarez, Freeman for the Reds. It looks like for the Brewers, we've got Luis Urias, Christian Yelich, Willie Adames, Omar Narvaez. We've got Avisail Garcia, Jace Peterson, Rowdy Tellez, former Blue Jay. It looks like in the lineup today from Milwaukee, and Jackie Bradley Jr. So that's what we're looking at here for the Milwaukee Brewers lineup. The Reds lineup, that's pretty much a full go lineup for them. Reds got the 4-3 victory, back-to-back wins after dropping the series opener for this Reds team. Luis Castillo, we have talked about him, how he had that brutal start to the season. It's been a different guy, really, for the last 5 starts. 0-3, 0-3, 1 is the runs allowed for him, so he's pitched a lot better. Faced the Brewers a couple of times last month, pitched very well in both of those games. I mean, 3 runs in 5.2 innings, and then 7 innings of shutout ball against the Brewers back on June 15th, and the Reds won that game 2-1. So really good stuff from Luis Castillo. Brandon Woodruff on the mound for the Milwaukee Brewers. He's had a terrific season as well. 2.1 ERA, 2.22 ERA at home. 12-5 in the 17 starts. Brewers are 7-1 with Brandon Woodruff pitching and starting at home this season. So that's a real tough track record to go against. So it's a really tough one because, the Brewers and with Woodruff on the mound, I don't like going against Woodruff. He's especially at home. But Castillo's in really good form right now, pitching well, shut down the Brewers, last month, the last time he faced them. I could see this being a lower scoring game. Again, you don't get a ton of wiggle room here in terms of the first 5 under, which is 3.5, even money in most spots. But that's certainly the way I would lean here in this game. And look, when you're trying to at least salvage a 4-game split here, 2 games apiece, yeah, it's not a bad thing to have Brandon Woodruff on the mound the way he's pitched. So I think Milwaukee wins, but yeah, I'm just not going to lay this price against Castillo, given the way Castillo's been pitching in his last 5 starts, where he's been pitching like the ace the Reds were hoping coming into the season during that span. Connor Mack, what do you think here, Reds and Brewers?
Yeah, this one's interesting. Castillo, the guy has just finally got it back, just getting totally ripped early on in the year. It was a total fade. He's kind of been a bet on now. Reds were big dogs yesterday. They here again. Let's see if Woodruff can stop the bleeding. He kind of had not one of his better starts against the Mets. He gave up 4 last time out. I've used him all year, a half a run. I don't know about here. This seems like a tricky spot. You mentioned the first 5 under 3.5. They haven't hit. I'd lean that way. Both these teams, though, have solid numbers against, each other. Garcia 6 for 18, Yelich, all these guys. And then the Reds, Votto 6 for 17, 2 homers. Winker 6 for 14 with a homer off Woodruff. Even Suarez 5 for 15 with a homer. So there could be some long balls. So I don't know if this, it's been under was good. I took it yesterday, like the Reds. I lean that way here again, the under. But I don't really have a side here that I like. I'd stick with the Reds maybe a little bit. They finally got some runs there later on in the game. I lean with the Reds here. They're a little hot. Give me the Reds. I lean that way, first 5.
All right. You know what? You might want to look at the over in the Pirates-Mets game. I'm going to be looking at it. The Mets have just announced that Aaron Loup is going to be their starting pitcher today. And Aaron Loup is loop-de-loop in terms of the way he pitches. One day can be good. One day he's absolutely brutal. So I don't know if that's a guy that I trust in a start. Now, I don't know how many innings he's going to go. Probably not much. Probably 2 innings. And it's going to – like if a bullpen day for the Mets don't have the kind of length in their bullpen, I think. So – and DeYoung is certainly spotty. So that game could be an over. 8.5 total's not too bad in that Pirates-Mets game. So I'm interested in that now with the announcement that Aaron Loup is going to start that game on the mound for the New York Mets here today. Not a fan of that guy. Up and down, too erratic. Detroit and Minnesota. Willie Peralta, fast Willie Peralta here, and Jose Barrios, the pitching matchup. Minnesota minus 220. The total 8.5 in this game. I'm really not fond of this game either way for the most part. I mean, certainly an edge to Barrios, but it's well factored into this price. And Minnesota's just not one of those teams I like to lay this kind of price with. You got to be a damn good team. You can't be a 12 games below 500 team and ask me to lay minus 220 with you. Okay, that's insane. And that's the situation here with the Minnesota Twins. Now, I know they've won the first 3 games of this series against the Tigers, and maybe they go on for the sweep. They've certainly got the better arm in this matchup, no question, with Barrios over Peralta. But boy, I'm not laying this price, not at all. Peralta comes into this start, actually not doing too bad. He did pitch well against Texas his last start, but this ain't Texas anymore. Now you got to face a pretty good line. Remember, he's faced some pretty light hitting lineups these last 2 games. Cleveland's spotty at times. Texas can't hit half the time. He faced the Angels. He got hit in that game, and the Angels are a bit of a step up lineup. So we'll have to wait and see here. But I'm definitely going to be passing on this game. But Barrios against the Tigers, 2 runs, 6 hits, pitched well against them in the 1 start he had earlier this season. He is coming into this game on a 0-3 slide. Twins are 0-3 in his last 3 starts, but really was a product of not a whole lot of run support in those games for Barrios. Pitched really well in 2 of those, probably deserved a better fate against Cleveland and the White Sox. So just all around, I don't want to back Peralta, but this price is insane on Minnesota, so I'm passing on this one. What do you think, Connor Mack, Tigers and Twins?
Yeah, Willie Peralta, 2-1, 2.14 ERA. It's laughable. I can't believe he's still in the bigs and pitching this well so far. But like you said, it was against the Rangers and teams like that. I like Barrios, but yeah, minus 220, no way. The Twins have been hitting a bit more lately. Maybe you could look team total here, or actually the full game over 9 in this one. Both teams just, to me, kind of play towards the over, especially lately when Tigers Twins. So I lean the full game over 9. And hey, I know it's Peralta on the mound, but took the Tigers. I liked it better yesterday. Tigers first 5, obviously they blew it at plus 165. Maybe a little Tigers first 5 here. You're getting another big number right around plus 190. I lean that way here.
Yeah, I mean, you actually might have to take Detroit at this price, but the problem is not with Peralta, not with this team just finding ways to lose at the moment. Their bullpen has really struggled again, the Tigers of late. Next up, we've got the Yankees and the Astros. Jameson Taillon and Framber Valdez, the pitching matchup here. Houston, minus 145 home favorites here. Actually, minus 135 is what we're looking at. More Yankees money coming in, 8.5 the total. Yankees looking for a sweep in Houston against this lineup that can't hit their way out of a wet paper bag all of a sudden. The Houston Astros. I mean, absolutely awful. And yeah, Garrett Cole, all I hear is, oh, what a performance by Garrett Cole. The team's not hitting right now, Houston. Absolutely. That's 3 games in a row. They haven't hit a lick. So how much credit can we give him for that start yesterday? Not too much. Let's see what he does in his next start, okay? Before we just, Garrett Cole just showed the world he's back. Can we see what he does the next start when against a team that actually is hitting at the time? Before we go crazy about last night, holy gosh, you just think he won the World Series or something last night. It was a nice performance, and you love the moment on the mound there where he's screaming and yelling and hollering, hey, I'm not leaving. I'm finishing this game out. I understand all that, but let's calm down. Let's see another good outing from Cole next time out against a team that maybe isn't in the bad form at the plate the Astros are right now. So anyway, when you look at it with the Astros, they're not hitting right now. I'm off this game. Like I said, I took the over both of these last 2 games. It wasn't even close with them, thinking the Astros could hit. Odorizzi couldn't hit him. Couldn't hit yesterday against a struggling Garrett Cole. Taillon is not a guy I trust, flat out, and he's not been good. Jameson Taillon, not at all. But boy, I don't know. There's been other pitchers that I thought, hey, Astros, they can hit this rag arm, and they haven't been able to hit him. So I'm going to have to see it before I believe it. Framber Valdez had a really rough outing last time out, but overall has pitched pretty well. Yankees are hitting lefties pretty good lately. So, the money's come in on the Yankees. I don't hate it. The thing I hate is backing Taillon. That's what I hate. But other than that, the Yankees are starting to hit, starting to win. They're starting to go on a little bit of a run here. So I guess if you made me choose, I would be Yankees or pass, but I'm just going to pass. I've had my fill of this series after the last 2 days. Not again. What do you think here, Connor Mack? Yankees, Astros.
Yeah, I've stayed off the series, and I think I'm going to jump on it today here. Tyon, I don't trust him at all, like you're talking about. No, the Yankees won again, 1-0. Astros couldn't score another run. It's pretty pathetic. Correa's still out of the lineup. I'm going to go with the Stros, though. I know Valdez's last start wasn't good. That was kind of his first one, his bad one all year. These pitchers are going to have him. But I'm going to take the Stros here. I'm going to lay a half a run, first 5. You get right around plus money with it. I'm going to take a shot. Tyon, I just don't like him, and I just don't like him on the road. So I'll take the Astros first 5 here. Nice to have a run.
All right, Astros minus a half a run, first 5. How about that? Connor Mack saying this is the day that was time for the Astros to wake up and show a little bit of life. We'll see if they can do that today. We got the Cardinals and the Cubs. We've got Adam Wainwright on the mound for the Cardinals, Trevor Williams for the Cubs. Even money both sides here in this game, total of 7 in this one. So the Cubs have basically, and every baseball reporter is reporting on this, they're selling at the trade deadline. They basically said that. And the moment I heard that, I'm like, I already didn't love the idea of backing this team on a game-in, game-out basis. Now I know I'm not backing this team anytime soon on a day-in, day-out basis. And they get shut out 6-0 by the Cardinals last night. They're now just 2-8 in their last 10 games. Yeah, and this is Cardinals or pass for me. Question is, can you trust Adam Wainwright on the road? We've always talked about this. Adam Wainwright on the road has not been the same, and it's kind of carried over this season as well. However, I will say this. His last 3 road starts, 1 run in 7 innings against Atlanta, 2 runs, 6 hits in 8 strong innings at Coors Field against the Rockies, which is pretty damn impressive. And his last road start, 3 runs, 5 innings against the Giants. He labored a little bit, no question, but still held it together. 3 runs over 5 innings, not bad. And the Cardinals, won each of those road games. They lost the Colorado game, but they beat Atlanta and they beat San Francisco 6-5 in that last start, which was on the road for Wainwright. So I'm actually looking St. Louis here a little bit. First 5 full game split probably, but Cubs are dismantling this thing. I don't know what else to say. I mean, they finally found out that this Bryant, Contreras, Rizzo core that they've had for the last few years, the core that won them the World Series a few years ago, they've maxed it out. They've gotten all they could. Clearly this team as it's constructed right now is not as good as some other teams in the National League, and they're going to make changes. So I'm not taking it, especially with Trevor Williams on the mound. I don't trust Trevor Williams coming into this start here for the Chicago Cubs. 5.51 ERA overall this season. He will be making his first start since back in May. He's been pitching primarily out of the bullpen this season, so we'll have to wait and see how he goes here. He had a rough outing his last time out, pitching out of the pen in Philadelphia against Philadelphia last week. What did he give up there? 7 runs, 6 hits, 3.2 innings in that game in relief for the Cubs. Yeah, no way. This is St. Louis or nothing for me. Connor, what do you think? Cardinals, Cubs?
Yeah, I think it's got to be Wainwright. You just talked about his form, and now he's pitching better on the road. His last 3 starts on the road have been very, very good. And Williams, yeah, he hadn't started since May. Then he was off all June. He came back, July 6th and got rocked 3 2/3, 6 hits, 7.3 earned. This one's difficult. The wind's blowing straight in, 15 miles an hour. That's why the total's only 7 here. I just lean the Cardinals in this game. I kind of looking at the first 5 under 4, but you got to go with Williams. And the Cardinals aren't world beaters swinging the bats. I know they scored a few in this series. But I lean the first 5 under 4 here, minus 120 a little bit. And just take the Cardinals minus 110. I think their team total's 3.5. It's about the same price. You could go there, but I would just take them straight up.
Yeah, I mean, I applaud Connor for going first 5 under here. I can't take under with a 7 with These two. I
Oh,
mean,
I haven't
Wainwright's
betted.
been better lately
I'm
for
leaning.
sure. Yeah,
I
leaning.
haven't
Yeah,
betted. Yeah.
yeah,
But the wind's
just a
blowing
lean.
dead in.
It
Yeah, it's
is.
Williams.
And we know what that
So
sometimes means. And not Flush Allen. I hear you on that, that it's pretty low total for these two arms, which aren't trustworthy. But I've seen these games where these mediocre pitchers are on the mound. It's a hard straight in wind at Wrigley, and it's like 3-1, 4-1. I've seen that. Not all the time, but I've seen it before, even with mediocre pitching. So that does worry me a little bit. Oakland, Texas, next game. Chris Bassett, Colby Allard, your pitching matchup here. Oakland, about moderate road favorites here in this one, minus 135. The total 8, pretty much across the board. In this game, we'll see how it goes. But believe Colby Allard and just faced Oakland recently, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of history for Colby Allard recently against Oakland. Pitched against against this team, I should say, a lot this year. You look at he's pitched he's pitched 6 times, Colby Allard, against the Rangers, 6 times, June 5th to July 5th, and he's had some good and some bad. So I don't know. Pick your poison. What this guy's gonna do here today against Oakland? What I do know is Oakland bounced back, finally got their offense going a bit, 8-4 victory yesterday against the Rangers. But still, the last 10 games for Oakland, they're only hitting 208 against lefties. Nothing to write home about. Texas on the other side, you've got Chris Bassett on the mound for Oakland, 6 runs, 8 hits, 4.1 innings. Really crushed he was in that last start he had against the Houston Astros. I don't trust him as much on the road. He's also faced the Rangers a couple of times lately, but pitched very well against them both here in Texas and at home, giving up just 1 run in 14 innings against the Rangers this season. In fact, 2 runs in 20 innings pitched over his last 3 starts for Bassett against this Texas Rangers team. So pretty impressive numbers right there. I'm not involved in the game, but given Bassett's history against, even though I don't love Bassett on the road, he has dominated this lineup. And they are still 8-2 in his 10 road starts, even though his ERA is only 4.19. So it would be Oakland or pass for me. I don't love Oakland, lukewarm, but definitely if I'm playing this, it's the Athletics here. Conor, what do you think? Oakland, Texas.
yeah, when I'm looking at this one, I'm leaning towards an under here. I know the A's kind of got some runs late, but Bassett's pitched well. The whole thing is this third time you're facing these teams. It worked out in the Reds-Brewers game, and we're going to see it again in that game with Castillo and Woodruff. With Bassett here and Allard, Allard gave up 3 runs in Oakland and kind of pitched well the rest of the way. Bassett got rocked like you talked about last time, but he's pitched well and better on the road. I lean first 5 under 4.5. I kind of just might go full game in this one, and I don't like the side. I don't want the A's again kind of laying this price. They broke through and scored some runs there late in extra innings, but I'm just going to pass on the side.
All right, next up we've got as we move on down the card here, Washington Nationals, San Francisco Giants. Actually, you know what? Before we get to that, let's do the 7th inning stretch now because we're at the West Coast game. So thanks to everyone in the chat. This is, as you know, our final show before the All-Star break. We're going to have the All-Star break. Obviously, there probably won't be – I don't think there'll be any shows the next few days. I think Conor will be back. Conor will be back on Thursday or Friday. We'll leave it up to Conor what he wants to do. All I can tell you is that I'm gone in terms of baseball shows until Wednesday, July 21st. So I'm off for a solid 10 days after this. My one, I guess you could say, vacation time away period of the entire year. This is the only time all year that I take time away. This time of year at the All-Star break. That's it. That's how much I'm knee deep in my work year round, whether it's the handicapping, betting, doing the shows, writing articles. It's a year-round thing for me. So I don't have many holidays, much time off. This is that time each and every year I'm off. So I will be gone until Wednesday, July 21st after today. I believe there's one baseball game on Thursday when the All-Star break returns. So I'm sure Conor will just do a show Friday, I would assume, and go from there. Conor will have you covered starting Friday, even though I'm not back till next Wednesday. Jose will do his guest spots. David will be with him next Saturday. You're going to have Ski Profit with them the following Monday next week. Then Jose again the following Tuesday, and then I'll be back alongside Connor Mack for the MLB closing time show Wednesday, July 21st. That will be my return day. So I am looking forward to being back then, but I also am looking forward to these next 10 days just to relax a little bit. Going to go to a cottage up north for a couple of days at least this week, so we'll see how that goes. Potentially hope it'll be just one of these situations. I'm going to go Monday, Tuesday, get back just for 2 days, come back Wednesday, because Wednesday I'm doing the NBA show, because I am still going to be here for the NBA shows during the finals on each day that we have those shows. So I'll still be here for those shows the next week or so, but not for MLB. MLB I'll be off till Wednesday, so definitely looking forward to that. But Connor, we'll have you covered once we return from the All-Star break later this week. So that's what's going on in terms of the closing time show. And we wouldn't have a show without you guys in the chat. Let's shout you out today. Brian Watson, Kyle Hintley, and Andre, Cheshire Cat, Truth, Unk Oliver, Not Applicable, Not Flush Allen, Nathan Schellhamer, John Chow, MMA Locker Room, TC, Erica Taylor, Truth, everyone in the Puzzler, Kenny Woo Woo Woo, Blake Atwood, Luke Murphy, everybody in the chat. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Anthony Imbronio, thanks to everyone for joining us today. Andre, so there we go. I think we got everybody. Yes, we do. Thanks to everyone joining us. Over 200 live viewers on the show today. Washington and San Francisco. We've got the Nats and the Giants. Eric Fetty, Kevin Gossman, the pitching matchup here. Giants minus 215, home favorites. Actually down to minus 190. Some Nationals money coming in here in this game. Total 8. This is probably a game I'm going to stay off. I mean, obviously yesterday, one of my favorite plays was Giants team total over in that game. It's just as easy as it gets. I mean, Lester was just brutal once again. That's like 4 straight starts now where it's been absolutely awful for John Lester. And I think Conor had a piece of that as well. So great offensive showing by the Giants yesterday. Here's the one issue, though. Gossman's an all-star. Gossman's probably looking forward to this, opportunity here. Is he going to be, maybe not sharp today? Is he going to be, thinking ahead to the, the All-Star festivities coming up? That's the one thing that concerns me a little bit, especially when you're laying this kind of price here in this spot with Kevin Gossman. Nevertheless, I could only look San Fran. I mean, I don't want Washington. I don't want Eric Fetty here in this game. It would be Giants or pass, but I just feel this is a better spot to pass on the Giants rather than take them in this one. What do you think, Connor? Washington, San Francisco.
Yeah, I think this is another spot. Yeah. How long will Gossman go? Maybe just 4 innings. Who knows? Like you talked about with this whole all-star thing. But Fetty's back, and man, he pitched pretty well, but I'm the fade of Fetty. I'm kind of right back on it. Give me the Giants team total over 4.5 and over 8. I know the wind in San Fran swirls, but it's blowing out again. 16 miles an hour, kind of the left center. I think we see more runs. But I like the Giants team total better, but I lean the full. Gossman could shut him down, but he might not go, like you said, 4 or 5. So I lean the full game like yesterday over 8 here as well.
Yeah, I mean, it would be San Francisco. I just opted for nothing, but I like what if you're going to bet this game, that's what I'd be looking at. I'd be looking at Giants. I'd be looking at Giants team total over again. I'd be looking at maybe the full game over, even though I really like Gossman the way he's pitched. This may not be a spot for his best with the, I don't want to say look ahead spot, but look, the guy is just, I'm sure is, he's not a guy that you would have expected to be in the All-Star game. He's probably pretty damn excited. So you wonder if that maybe makes him a little bit less focused, less sharp today. We'll have to wait and see. And you're right, the wind is not just blowing out a little. It's blowing out a lot. Left field, 11 miles per hour here at Oracle Park this afternoon. So I wouldn't talk anyone out of an over bet in this one. LA Angels, Seattle Mariners. We've got Jose Suarez, Hector Santiago. Seattle -1, actually pretty much even money here, both sides. The total is 9 shaded to the over, and we've pretty much got bullpen guys making the start here for the respective teams. Jose Suarez for the Angels, He made a spot start against Boston. Didn't really go that well. 2 runs, 3 hits, 3 innings of work. Didn't pitch long. Didn't pitch deep into that game for the Angels. So you're going to see a lot of their bullpen following that outing coming into this one. And then you've got Hector Santiago. Wow. Back in a starting spot for the Seattle Mariners. He hasn't pitched in 2 years. Back when he was with the White Sox, you remember, in the 2019 and the 2018 season. So it's been a while since we've seen Hector Santiago. But, 3.38 ERA overall. But his last few appearances have not necessarily been good coming out of this bullpen. Last 3 appearances, 11 ERA for Hector Santiago. So nothing all that spectacular from him, making a spot start here in this one. Angels mashing lefties coming into this start here today. They've been subdued, though, so far, this Angels lineup, the first 2 games of this series. Seattle winning the first 2 games 7-3 and 2-0. I think this probably looks like a decent Angels spot here. I would lean Angels first 5 full game split here in this. Actually, you know what? With this being a bullpen day, both sides, I might just opt to do Angels full game, because it's not like there's a huge edge with Suarez and in the first 5 innings. I'll probably just go all of the bet on the Angels in the full game. Yeah, the over makes sense. It does. I mean, you're going to have a lot of bullpen work from both of these teams. 2 bullpens that, Seattle's bullpen's actually been very good the last 10 games, but you're going to see a lot of the middle relief guys. And the middle relief guys are not the ones that you necessarily trust to keep the opposing lineup down. And you're going to see a lot of them today, because I can't imagine Hector Santiago pitching deep. I can't imagine him having a long leash. He wasn't good a couple of years ago with the White Sox. He hasn't been good his last few relief appearances for the Mariners this season. So to me, this looks like a short leash for him. After a low-scoring 2-0 affair last night, a lot of middling relievers on both sides. That's essentially what you're going to see here in this game. So definitely makes sense, I think, look over the total, and I like the Angels as well to bounce back and avoid the sweep. What do you think here, Connor Mack, Angels, Mariners?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, both these guys, depending on how they pitch, 3 innings, for Suarez, maybe. Santiago, 2 innings, maybe 3. So bullpen day. After I liked the under yesterday and the Mariners, I don't love them as much today. You could go team totals, but I think you could just go with the over 9. Even at 9.5, there's 9.5 to even money. Not a lot of runs scored yesterday. The bats are a little cold. Maybe they heat up today in this day game. Make sure to check the lineups. I don't know if they're confirmed yet. Let me look. But yeah, I'm with you. I lean over in this one.
Yeah, they probably won't be confirmed yet because it's a late start, late game, 4 p.m. Eastern. It's pretty much only the earlier games, 3 p.m. Eastern and earlier, where we have confirmed lineups as of right now for both teams. So we'll see how this one plays out. Next up, we've got Arizona Diamondbacks, LA Dodgers, Merrill Kelly and Tony Gonsolin on the mound. Dodgers minus 230, home favorites, 9 the total, shaded to the under. Boy, did the Dodgers leave any runs in the arsenal or in the can after last night? Holy mackerel! Talk about a smackdown. 22-1, and it was 9-0, I believe, in the second inning last night.
Yep.
Of that game against the Diamondbacks. I'm pissed off I didn't take the Dodgers. That was the one spot they lost. It, kind of embarrassing when you lose to Arizona at home these days. And then last night against frickin' Caleb Smith, they just took that guy to the woodshed. And of course, you give Buehler that kind of lead, the game's over.
What if you would have went? Ian, you would alt line on it though, because he was 310.
Yeah, run line. Yeah, it was 310, like team total even. No, it's not so much the run line I was going to bet, but the team total, I was definitely thinking of it. Like, this feels like a smash spot. Their lineup comes alive tonight and I was thinking about it more and more as we got closer to first pitch. I never did pull the trigger on it, but it felt like a blow the doors off them type of spot for the Dodgers, and it sure was. Now we'll see how they do. Now today I'd be scared, because you have that 22-1 performance, and we know what that's like sometimes. Sometimes you struggle, to muster up that same kind of offense, or really any kind of offense. I've seen games where teams score 20 runs and they score 2 in the next game. So you'd have to be a little bit careful of that. And you also have to be a little bit careful of Arizona's Merrill Kelly, who's pitched really well the last few games for the Diamondbacks. Rough start to the season, but on the road, his numbers still aren't great. I guess that's the one thing that would worry me. But his last road start was a very good San Diego team, shut him out in 6 innings. 1 run allowed to the Brewers in 7 innings, 3 runs allowed to the Giants in 7 innings, 2 runs allowed in 5.1 innings to Colorado. So he's really pitched a lot better lately. Going into this game here. He's faced the Dodgers once this year here at Dodger Stadium, pitched pretty well. 3 runs, 6 hits, 12 strikeouts registered by Merrill Kelly against the Dodgers in the start against them back in May. So be careful here. Gonsolin, though, I'll tell you what, he's done a lot better as a starting pitcher than I thought. He's actually gotten better. Struggled his first few starts, wormed his way out of trouble. But the last 2 starts, 1 run, 4 innings against the Cubs. Last time out against the Marlins, 2 hits, shutout baseball in 5.1 innings. So good stuff from Tony Gonsolin here in this one. Maybe a first 5 under, believe it or not, here could be in the cards here with the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers today. Not totally convinced the Dodgers just light up the scoreboard again like they did last night. Kelly in good form. Gonsolin's found a little bit of a groove here. Making these spot starts. This will now be his 6th straight spot start for the Dodgers, and he's starting to get comfortable in that kind of role. So
he better be
I would
there.
lean a little bit. Yeah, I would lean a little bit.
He's going to start.
Yeah, I would lean a little bit to the first 5 under here. Certainly, if you're going to bet an under, you got to be first 5. We know what that Diamondbacks bullpen is like. It's awful. So first 5 under. Probably not first 5 here. I like Kelly. I don't like him that much that I'm going to trust him in the first 5. But first 5 under would probably be the look here. What do you think, Connor?
Yeah, man. Merrill Kelly's pitched a lot better lately. You talked about even that start against the Dodgers. Gave up 3 runs, but the 12 strikeouts. And Gonsolin, yeah, he'll be more and more with the Kershaw injury and Bauer. Who knows how long he's going to be out. He'll be a regular starter from here on out. And Dustin May out for the year. I've seen it before. The Dodgers, after they score 12 or 14, score 22. Sometimes, they get shut out. I'd be a little bit leery, here in this one. I just don't trust it. The numbers off the Dodgers have just ripped Kelly, though, in his whole career. Turner's 3 for 7, Bellinger 3 for 7, 2 homers, Muncy 4 for 9, Will Smith 2 for 5 with a homer, on and on. Taylor, all these guys have hit him well. He's in good form. Difficult one for me. If you like the D-backs, like I took a half run, plus half run. It's still plus money the other night at plus 140. Maybe look first 5 D-backs under, under first 5 under 4.5, or D-backs with a little value. But I'm going to probably stay off here.
All right, final game of the Sunday card. In the final game, we will analyze from a betting perspective. Man, we've analyzed a shit ton of games. I can't even, Matt, we're talking thousands of games that Conor and I have been breaking down here just in the first half of this season, every single day on this show. So, but this will be the last before the break. Colorado and San Diego. We've got, it looks like Ryan Weathers, the lefty for the Padres, John Gray on the mound for the Rockies. We've got San Diego minus 175 to minus 180, home favorites, 8.5 the total in this game. Rockies first 5 and full game. How about that? Split it up between the two yesterday, and they got it done for me. The Rockies shutting out the Padres. Can you believe it? A road win for the Colorado Rockies. They don't have many. But they got one. In fact, they've lost 1-2 of their last 3 on the road. So give them credit for that. Marquez, fantastic last night in that start for the Colorado Rockies. So the Rockies have treated me very well these last 2 days from big underdog prices. I took them first 5 on Friday night, cashed in. Took them first 5 full game split last night, cashed in with them as well. So it's been nice to have the Rockies cash those big prices for me the last couple days. Now the question is, do I come back to the well here with the Rockies again today? I don't know. I don't trust Ryan Weathers. I'll say that right now. I'm not a big fan of the way his trajectory is going. He's given up 13 runs in his last 19 innings, which isn't great by any stretch of the imagination. The Rockies, you look at them against lefties of late, 5.2 runs per game. That's been their stronger side. Is facing lefty pitching the last 10 games. They've done better against southpaws. So I think the Rockies might be able to crack him for a few runs here in this game. The question is, what Gray do you get? Gray is in better form lately. Last 3 starts, he's given up 5 runs in his last 17 innings. That's pretty good. But on the road, he's really struggled. 5.46 ERA. The Rockies are 0-6 in 6 road starts this year by John Gray. So that's the one thing I'm hesitant about. Plus, I don't like backing the Padres off a loss usually, especially at home. Often they're very good bouncing back. I don't know. This feels like, and especially because even though John Gray has pitched well lately, the Rockies are still only 1-4 in his last 5 starts. Gray is 0-4, or the Rockies, I should say, are 0-4 in John Gray's last 4 starts against the San Diego Padres, including 0-2 this season. So I feel like today I lean Rockies first 5 and full game at this number again, but I feel like today might just be a day. You know what? Take the money you won Friday from the Rockies, take the money you won last night from the Rockies, and just put it in your pocket and keep it. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing here. What do you think, Conor Mac, Rockies, Padres?
Yeah, I'm going to take my Rocky winnings from last night and keep it in my pocket. But I've liked Gray. I backed him a lot lately. He's got bad numbers against these Padres. They have just killed him. Machado's 9 for 27, 3 homers. Will Myers, 14-39, 3 homers. Tatis, 3 for 13 homer. Cronenworth, 4 for 7. On and on and on. He had one start where he pitched okay against the Padres earlier this year, and another one I think he gave up 4 earned. I'd lean Padres off a loss here. Don't mess with the 180 with Weathers. I go Padres team total over 4.5. You get it kind of minus 105, 110 from what I'm looking at. So I'd be on the Padres team total over 4.5, and maybe the full game even over 8.5 in this one.
All right, lean to the full game over and the Padres team total here a little bit. And yeah, Myers and Machado, definitely have my eye on them for Jack of the Day and total bases, to be honest with you. Like 4 doubles for Myers against John Gray as well. 3 homers for both of them, so plenty of chances to get over total bases. Definitely both of them with 3 homers against Gray, Myers, and Machado, assuming they're in the lineup today. Those are good Jack of the Day candidates for sure. By the way, Kyle Seager in the last game, or sorry, not the last game, the Angels-Mariners game, I forgot to mention that. He's done damage against Jose Suarez, so Kyle Seager of the Mariners to hit a home run might be something to look at there in that game today. All right, great stuff with Conor Mac. As always, it's been a hell of a lot of fun doing this show 7 days a week. Some cards you love, some cards you hate, but whether we love the card, we hate the card, whether we love each game or not, we've been here every single day, 7 days a week, and I guarantee you there's no other show that's done it like this. Every single day, every single day, every single game. Think about that. Every single game throughout the MLB season. You've been getting a coverage of it and analysis of it right here on Pub Sports Radio on the MLB Closing Time Show. And why are we able to bring you this kind of content every day? I feel like I'm on public television again because of viewers like you or listeners like you. Absolutely. That's what ends up bringing us back every day, supporting us, tuning into the channels, hitting the like button, by the way, which we hope you do. Hit that like button. It's our last show before the All-Star break. Give us some love. Give the channel some love for all that we've done here in the first half, giving you shows each and every day throughout the baseball season. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a blast. I've had fun. I know Connor's enjoyed it as well.
Oh, yeah.
Let's keep it rolling. It has been a lot of fun giving you great MLB coverage and definitely looking to give you a lot more of that in the second half of the season as well. All right, great. So what do you mean nose hair shot? I trim my nose hairs. They're not applicable. What are you talking about there? All right, great stuff there. I at least try to. I don't always get them all, but I definitely make a point of it to trim them. You know what it's like when you get late 30s, like I'm trending right now. I'm trending into my late 30s, and the hairs, the ear hair, the nose hair, all that shit starts to add up over time. No question about that. All right, it is time for Best Bet and Jack of the Day in just a few moments. But first, before we do that, messages from both Manscaped and Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, Texas, make sure you check them out. Live music, DJs, karaoke, great food and drinks as well. Southtown 101 in San Antonio. Manscaped promo code Pub Sports. You get 20% off your purchase of the new and improved Lawnmower 4.0, as well as any other Manscaped product, by using that promo code Pub Sports to get 20% off. And mybookie.ag promo code Pub Sports. We've got MLB, of course, still a whole second half left. NBA Finals continue today and late throughout the week. And we've got football just a month away. NFL and college football to be here before CFL football. Let's not forget that. My bread and butter. Canadian Football League season starts in a month. I can't wait. I'll be cheering on my Ticats back in the house, back in the stadium for every home game this year for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. We're going to have a damn good team once again this year. So CFL coming up as well. Mybookie.ag, promo code Pub Sports. Check them out. Sign up for an account. No better time than right now. And Bitcoin as well, accepted currency for your deposit with mybookie.ag. Use the promo code Pub Sports. All right, it is time now for our final Jack of the Day before the All-Star break.
Well, see you later.
Right, Jack of the Day. We mentioned the two guys from San Diego. Makes sense to look Will Myers, Manny Machado. I mentioned Kyle Seager of the Seattle Mariners against Jose Suarez. It's a good Jack of the Day candidate. Joey Gallo, 2 homers against Bassett. Had another one yesterday. Why not? Joey Gallo is absolutely seeing it right now at the plate. You could go with a couple of Cardinals against Trevor Williams, Goldschmidt, DeYoung, Tyler O'Neill, Arenado, Carpenter. They've all hit home runs against Trevor Williams. So nothing, you couldn't go wrong there necessarily. What else? It looks like there's a couple others. Oh, yeah, Votto and Winker against Woodruff. Garcia and Yelich against Castillo in that Reds-Brewers game. You could look towards Springer against Rich Hill. You could look toward Bryce Harper, 2 home runs against Nick Pivetta. I think that's definitely something you might want to consider in this one. So that's basically what I'd be looking at here for Jack of the Day today. Conor, what do you think for home run props?
Yeah, Bryce Harper, Escobar. You mentioned Gallo. He's just tearing it right now. I like those Cubs, like Ian Happ has 4 homers, but that wind's kind of blowing in. Maybe watch the home runs because Contreras is hitting well. A lot of home runs off Wainwright for these Cubs, but I'd be leery of them. Yeah, there's a couple more. Maybe some of these Reds, Winker or Votto, they've had success off Woodruff. And that was about it. Yep. Oh, the Dodgers, Bellinger and Betts, and a few other guys have hit Kelly really hard. They had, 6 home runs last night or 8? I think they get a couple more today, so maybe look at some of these Dodgers.
All right, good stuff. Oh, there we go. We gave you a bunch of home run props. All right, it is time for best bet. I literally won almost every baseball bet except the best bet yesterday. That was just one of those situations, the Yankees Astros, which was the worst pick I made all day yesterday with the over yesterday. But everything else was pretty good. I mean, we had Cleveland. We had the Giants team total over. We had the Red Sox Phillies over. We had the White Sox Orioles over. We had there was one at night, later in the night that I think cashed. Oh, Colorado, right. The first 5. Like, it was a really good day overall yesterday for me. And, of course, the best bet was like one of my only 2 losses yesterday. And it was like a 9-2 type day for me in baseball. And one of the 2 losses was best bet. Yep, it happens. We'll see what we can do for your best bet today. We'll start with Conor Mack, though. What do you like for your final MLB best bet before the All-Star break?
I'm going after they couldn't hit. The more I've talked about and liked it and all those numbers, I know Gray's been in good form, but Padres in after a loss. Give me their team total. You're getting over 4.5. You get minus 105, minus 110 some spots. So Padres team total over 4.5.
All right, Padres team total over 4.5. Best bet here for Conor Mack, and a bounce back day for the Padres after getting blanked by the Colorado Rockies.
Oh, wait, real quick. Yeah, Mills in the chat. Yeah, the first game we talked about it. I lean over again. I'm leery. Like someone in the chat, Mancini's out. The Orioles haven't hit. The overs just got there. That's all because of the White Sox. I mean, I just don't love it again, and I'm not going to bet it. But I lean over in the game, and maybe White Sox run line again.
All right, good stuff. And yeah, by the way, the Red Sox line has jumped with Kinsler, reliever,
Yeah.
making the start for the Phillies. That's confirmed. And I'd still lean Boston team total over and full game over. That is the way I'll probably look to bet that game now that we've got a confirmed starting pitcher here for the Red Sox today. All right, my best bet for this Sunday card. Let's go with a side today. Let's go. I like it. I like the Blue Jays here today. We'll stay right here in the north of the border. Blue Jays to get the job done here. I'll just go full game money line because, look, their bullpen hasn't had any key relievers pitch the last couple days because they've lost the first 2 games. They've got all their best relievers on deck, and that bullpen overall has pitched a little bit better lately. Robbie Ray and the Blue Jays, I think, get it done. They avoid the sweep. They've got all their key bats in there. Toronto minus 120 against Tampa Bay. That will be my best bet for this Sunday card, this final best bet before the All-Star break. That'll wrap up this edition. Final edition of the MLB Closing Time show before the All-Star break. I will still be around for the NBA Pub Hub throughout the week. I'll be here. Well, obviously, by the way, we have the NBA Pub Hub top of the hour, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. Pacific. In just 40 minutes from now, we'll preview Game 3, a must for the Milwaukee Bucks as they take on the Phoenix Suns back in the Deer District. Game 3 of the NBA Finals tonight. So I'll be around for that show later today. I'll be there on Wednesday for the NBA Pub Hub. I believe Friday is Game 5 if necessary. So I'll do every NBA show over the next week or two. But as for the baseball show, I am out until Wednesday, July 21st, and looking forward to a nice little break from doing it every day. But Conor Mack starting this Friday. Conor Mack, Jose Bouquet, David Sharp, Ski Prophet, the people you normally see here on the Closing Time show. They will have you covered Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, following the All-Star break. And then I'll be back right here on this show next Wednesday, July 21st. So have a good All-Star break, everybody. And I'm going to enjoy a mini vacation. For me, it's because I'm still going to be doing a few things here and there, like the NBA show, but I'm definitely going to enjoy it. I appreciate it. Slats 45 definitely will enjoy a little time away from doing shows every single day. It'll be a nice little break, and plus I need the battery recharge. Honestly, it's go throughout football season, basketball and hockey season nonstop. This is my small little recharge the batteries period of time, and we'll be ready to go again when I return on July 21st. So good stuff. It's been a blast. It's been a great first half of the season. We appreciate all of you guys tuning in and joining us. And make sure you're with us at the top of the hour for the NBA Pub Hub with me, Conor, Dutch, Ski, Trot Wham, and potentially Billy Briz as well again on the Sunday show. So looking forward to that. Full house on the NBA Pub Hub. For Conor Mack, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy the All-Star break. We'll be back in 40 minutes for the NBA Pub Hub right here